time for a top 10. Number 10, Goldman Sachs down more than 2% on its first day on the Dow. According to a person briefed on the decision, the company is adding trading sessions and increased the money it makes available to buy securities on its electronic bond trading platform.
All right, I'm staying with the banks, Trish. I'm talking J.P. Morgan. Shares right now down about 2.5%. The company and Bill and the Melinda Gates Foundation have formed an investment fund. It's going to back late-stage development of technologies to try to fight killer diseases in low-income countries. I'm sorry they're not up on that news. That's certainly a good piece of news for the world.
Fantastic. Number 8, General Electric. They are up a little over 1%. The company signed a $1.9 billion deal, a contract with Algeria to supply turbines for 6 power plants. A big contract win for GE's crucial but struggling power turbine business. The deal will add 8 gigawatts of power. If anyone out there knows what a gigawatt is, that's what it'll be. 8 gigawatts of power.
Oh, thank goodness.
By 2017.
They need power.
I was guessing 8.2, but it's only 8.
Yeah. Who knows?
Number 7 is Microsoft, down about 0.5%. The company introduced 2 new versions of its Surface tablet, the Surface Tablet 2 and Surface Pro. This is the software maker's latest bid to challenge Apple and Samsung in the hardware market after its first devices, well, fell flat.
Yep. All right, let's talk about Citigroup. Shares are down more than 3% as the Financial Times reports that the company's interest rate and currency business may lead to a drop in overall bond trading revenue at the company. Citigroup, scheduled to report earnings October 15th. Boy, that is just around the corner. Declined to comment on this news.
Number 5, Google. Those shares down almost 2%, the world's largest search engine, facing the challenge of persuading a judge that digitally copying millions of books for online searches without authors' permission is protected by copyright law. The company argued today in federal court that the fair use provision of the Copyright Act shields it from liability for copyright infringement. It's obviously an incredibly complex. It goes beyond just if I buy a book, I can copy it. Obviously, I can. But if I buy a book and I use that for my business, which makes me billions of dollars in revenue, is that legal? I don't know.
This is all uncharted territory. I was talking to a lawyer who said a lot of this stuff hasn't been figured out, and there aren't enough precedents to necessarily navigate, which means you got to really.
You know, Google's saying they'd like to be able to do this, right?
Of course they want to do it.
Yeah.
They want free stuff with which to make billions of dollars.
And how is this not pirating something?
That's what they have to convince the judge of. But I think Adam's point is a great one that we're seeing time and time again. Technology is just moving much faster than lawmaking.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
And you see it in so many different areas. I think of self-driving cars, but also in
self-driving cars.
But also
in copyright law.
International law in the Geneva Convention can be applied to the internet, and of course, can Google copy books to use for its billion-dollar business.
Well, let's move on to number 4. It's Netflix. The company's shares are falling almost 4% last night. Netflix won the first Primetime Emmy Award for a web service after David Fincher won for Best Director of House of Cards. So interesting. It's actually trading down, so maybe spy on the rumor, sell on the news there.
I am certainly looking forward to Homeland, which premieres this Sunday night. That's going to be hot. All right,
watch Strike Back. Strike Back.
Yeah, you like that one. All right.
It's amazing.
I'm moving on to Pandora because shares are down over 10% today. So Apple attracting, there's the closing bell, attracting 11 million unique users to its new iTunes radio service. Apple is seeking to challenge Pandora, obviously, in Clear Channel Communications, trying to move this whole thing forward.
Okay, so number 2, Apple, Matt?
Yeah, Apple shares are up more than 5%. The tech giant just reported that it sold 9 million of its new iPhone 5s, the 5S and the 5C over the weekend. Well above what analysts estimated. Apple also said that 200 million devices are now running the completely redesigned iOS 7.
Okay, so let's move on to our number 1 stock of the day. It might have been Apple until we got that BlackBerry news. BlackBerry shares up slightly on news that the company finally got an offer for a buyout. It's a tentative $4.7 billion buyout from a group led by its biggest shareholder, Fairfax Financial Holdings. The group would offer $9 a share. That's a 3% premium over BlackBerry's closing price last week.